So, with me returning to working on the dark, I thought I'd give you guys a quick update video on everything I've got done in the time that I have been gone, because it has been a while since I last, did any sort of YouTube tutorial video, fun little challenge, which I do intend on returning to and doing a lot more often, maybe like once a week, once a month type thing. I'm not too sure yet on the plans, but yeah. I have, and my main project right now has been working on the dark to try and get that done, because I do want to make this a full-on game. I think that would be really fun to do, really exciting, and I'm just excited all around to do that, so that is the main plan as of right now. The gameplay in the background that you're seeing right now, don't worry, it's no spoilers. It's actually released in free-to-play right now on itch. I'll leave a link in the description down below. And it's just the demo version of the game so that people can get a taste for what sort of style game this is going to be when the full game comes out. But anyway, enough about the demo and the gameplay that you're seeing in the background. Let's get straight into what has actually been done since you last saw me. So first things I did was the title screen. Obviously, this is going to be what you first see when you enter the game. First off, you can hear the music is completely different to what it was before. I've also removed the demo, obviously. This is no longer going to be the demo version of the game. This is the full-on, full game, ready to play. You'll also see there's now a tutorial button. This is actually the old demo version of the game that I have now retrofitted for the tutorial. So all of the little title sequences and like little cave markings on the walls that you see in the demo are actually still in there. However, they've been changed and some of the text has been, rewritten to be more designed to allow you to understand how to play the game and understand how all the different mechanics work, and actually just let you play through the game and kind of learn all the different aspects of what's going to happen. Obviously, it doesn't go past like the first area when it comes to mechanics, because I still do want you to learn mechanics as you're playing through the game. There will be new mechanics being added, there'll be old mechanics reoccurring, all that cool stuff. After that, I also added the start game button. Obviously, we kind of need one of those to play the game. That's pretty helpful. I also might end up moving this dark down a little bit, just because it does feel a bit too high now, looking at it from a fresh perspective, because obviously it's always good to take breaks and come back. Now that I'm coming back to it, it does look a little bit too high, so I might lower that just in between these two here, rather than sitting more in line with the start game. But anyway, when you do click start game, it will come up with a title screen for the area that you're going into, this being the Fallen Caverns, the first area of the game, and then it also just drops you straight into the action. So I also did some work on getting some text going and some kind of storyline being built here. You'll also notice that obviously your light's not as big as it used to be, I did actually change it for the start of the game so that you have got quite a small light, because obviously you just fell into a cave and you're trying to work your way out, which is the whole idea of the game, right? Just a really quick ad break here, guys. I've just started my own school program, link in my bio and description of this video. It's basically a program for those who want to either learn how to code or already know how to code a little bit, but want to get that extra knowledge and kind of just get that edge on everyone else in the business. So if you really are interested in learning how to code or already know how to code and want to get that little extra help, please do go check out my link in the description or in my bio, because I really do want to help everyone I can. It's completely free to join. However, each course does cost a little bit of cash. It's not very much. I think it's like £5 to £10 per course. You learn a lot of knowledge per course as well. It doesn't just teach you the fundamentals or the basics. There's two packages. There's the basic package, which will teach you kind of like just how to make a pretty good, for example, character controller. That is one of the courses that I will be selling on my course. However, you'll also get the advanced version where you can learn how to do coyote time, jump buffers, and I'm not going to just tell you how to do it. I'm also going to talk you through how we've done it and really just kind of help you learn exactly what actually happened and how you've made this thing, rather than just here's the code and just put this into your game yourself and there you go, there's it done, because that's just a YouTube video at that point. And what I really want you to understand is how to actually make it, so that when you come to do it in the future, you're not going back to your old code to just grab it and reuse it, and because otherwise your games will become repetitive and very similar to each other. but also I'm going to make sure that you actually understand what has actually been created, and so that when you come to making a new game, you can just then write all the code yourself and actually know what you have written. Enough about that though, let's get straight back into the video, and I really hope you do enjoy today's devlog. So moving into the next part of the game, it's going to be more of a puzzle type area. I'm not going to tell you the name or the title card, because I do like that one a bit more. And also I'm going to be changing the title cards to add more like, ambient sound to it and all that cool stuff. There also will be ambient sound in the main game behind the music. I may also remove the music and just put ambient sound. I'm not completely 100% sure yet. However, this is going to be a more, puzzle based area, because this is going to be like a mine shaft type thing. So I want it to be more puzzle based, more, you got to do these puzzles to get through it. That cool stuff, and you just really get a feel for how, I just want, in this like little preview, I want you to get a feel for how this game's going to play out. So obviously I'm not going to show you how these puzzles work. I will just show you this puzzle here though, because I really do love this one. You might see the yellow cone signs there. I wanted it to be an element of difficulty while also giving you relative ease while making your way through this place. So what I've done is there are going to be some platforms in the game where if I zoom in on this, you'll see there's a little slippery dude on that. So these are actually going to be like slippery platforms where you have to move with the platform or you will fall off. I did this just to give it a little bit extra kind of fear for the game. And this is actually your first boss area, not this puzzle itself, this whole entire level. At the end here, I will show you a quick sneak peek of what this boss fight's going to look like. Pretty small room by the looks of it, but trust me, it is extremely fun. I'm not going to show you the boss fight because, as I said, again, I do really want you guys to play through this game and fight the bosses and feel like you haven't actually seen the bosses before. But yeah, it's just going to be really fun. If I actually load this game up here, I'll show you the first encounter with the first boss from this place. This is kind of like, I haven't decided on a name for him yet because I am going to add title cards to each boss fight. However, I'm thinking on the Mine King or Skeleton King or just the Skeleton Miner, something like that. I also might end up changing like slimes out for walking skeletons if I think it will look better for this area. I haven't completely decided yet. However, let me just walk up here real quickly so that I can show you the first boss fight sequence. If I walk down here, he comes up from the depths. You get a little title card. Obviously, you'll also see that the borders per level are actually different, so it's not just going to be the exact same thing every single level with that yellow golden border. That's just for the first area. I also may end up turning that a little bit more brown to give it that first earthy look. However, you've got to complete 3 of his puzzles to leave, and then obviously the boss fight at the end. There will still be checkpoints throughout this area, and I also don't want to finish this puzzle because obviously, as I said again, I do really want you guys to do the puzzles yourselves. It's just really fun. All in all, I really have enjoyed making this level the most so far. Obviously, I probably will enjoy making some of the other levels more, but that will be in later devlogs and later videos, so please do, obviously, again, keep tuned for that. I'm not going to actually knock that down there because that will finish this puzzle and you'll actually see how to do it. But anyway, obviously, the gate over there and all that, and yeah, it's just a really fun puzzle to play through and actually experience. And I've also left, I'm not going to completely show you where they are, obviously you might see some around, but there also are shortcuts. So I didn't want this just to be for the casual gamer. I also wanted this to be for the speedrunning community and any sort of community that likes platformers. And so I've tried to kind of incorporate that into the way that you play the game. Obviously, you can do it the intended route. However, I really do hope that people find their own routes to make themselves faster, and also find maybe little glitches to really help them get through this level quicker and just get better times on the level all in all. So apart from that, that's pretty much it for level 2. And I will show you some final little bits, and then yeah, we'll go from there. As a quick side note as well, you may see these yellow buttons around. These aren't actually dangerous. These are what I wanted to be different to the normal buttons, because the normal buttons, you kind of just press down on them. If you get off, they press back up. These buttons are one-click presses, so, I may also end up later on in the game, making buttons that if you press it in the wrong order, you screw yourself over and you have to kill yourself and it restarts or whatever. I'm thinking about doing something like that. However, for right now, these are one-press buttons that you have to press alongside your box buttons, or, you put your boxes on the buttons.
to actually progress through the gates, and it won't open until you've done both. I have also put them in positions where you have to get them just for the start of this area, so that you understand, oh, I need to do that. Got you. Just because it is a little bit helpful to kind of get a feel for what these do before you actually do it. And I'm really happy with the way this came out. I may also end up changing the color to like slightly darker or something like that, because I do find the yellow a bit iridescent and very bright. But apart from that, I'm really happy with the way it looks. And this is also one of the other puzzles where you have to get the box, take it up, and everything like that. All that lovely job stuff. Also, just a quick side note, in between puzzles there will be slight parkour sections, so if you don't find as much fun with the puzzle side of things, there are still parkour sections in this level, so you won't completely hate this level if you're not into puzzles, sorry. um the parkour itself isn't exactly impossible. It is a slight challenge if, like, you go too high and spike into these or things like that when you're jumping across here. There are still pitfalls and slimes and everything like that. Again, I do want to try and change these slimes out for skeletons that are going back and forth, because I do feel like that would fit this level a little bit better, and I would enjoy the look of that a little bit more. However, that's going to take some time for me to get the sprites together, the animations done, and everything like that. But anyway, guys, I think that is everything for this devlog. Obviously, I will be back with you as soon as I can once I have, the full boss fight done. I start working on the entrance to level 3. Level 3 itself, I will give you a quick sneak peek right now. I have already planned out what it's going to be. You might see from the top right up here. However, let me just zoom in down here. It's going to be an ice themed level. Obviously, you always got those ice themed levels in games. It's going to be very slippery. You're going to be falling around all over the place. And I've already got the boss planned for this level. So please do wait to see what that's going to be like in my next devlog or whenever it comes out. Obviously, I can't give you an exact time because this is a lot of work that I'm showing you right now. However, if you do want to get a feel for what the game's going to be like, go check out in the link in the description the Dark demo. It's on itch right now. I've also got my split streams game that you guys may have seen on my channel, me make profile to wishlist. Then I really do appreciate anyone who goes checks those out, and I will see you all again in the next devlog.